Did my health get restored? It probably didn't. It did, okay.
This must be the path.
Now, what I will do is... Obviously, it's the Leviathan DLC, so I should probably go for that. We'll leave this set for now. Let's create a new set. We'll have some Phoenix. We'll have some Leviathan. And we'll have some Ramu. Yeah, okay. I think for now, to make my life simple, I'm just going to keep everyone's stuff like where it should be. The big move, Tsunami, we'll do that. For the smaller one, we'll go for... I think this one's good for like packs. This one's probably better for a boss. Yeah, I think I just need this one because I suck too badly. We'll do something different with that. Phoenix Shift. Yeah. I feel like this is what I need, like to move around a bit more easily. Let's yeah, I haven't mastered enough of the other abilities yet at this stage. Why not? Okay. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of that just to kind of mix it up a little. We'll start with Leviathan. Tidal gauge could be 150. Yeah, so I think one thing I need to get more used to is switching in and out of this mode. So switch in like this, but then if you press the button again, you don't switch out of it. So you need to kind of cancel with X to get out. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Issues. What could possibly go wrong?
They're not here either. It's you! I've been looking everywhere for you.
You must be Rooker.
You know my name? Can you lot read minds?
Your father asked me to keep an eye out for you. You left without telling him where you were going. He was worried.
But I went to look for you.
Well, now you found me. What do you say we head back to the village and let your father know you're safe?
All right. And on the way home, you can tell me all about the world beyond the wall. I want to know everything.
Everything might be a stretch.
Well, that went surprisingly well. Maybe it's not a combat quest.
Thank you for bringing her home. And sorry for the trouble.
Oh, no. It was a pleasure.
Daddy, did you know that there are villages 10 times as big as Haven in the outside world? 10 times! Cities, they call them. And in these cities, they have great big walls and towers and castles.
Oh, to think I was worried. You can tell me all about the outside world later, Sweet Pea. Now go and help your mum with the stores.
All right.
Thanks for putting up with her questions. She, has a lot of them. One of the big ones being, what are the people beyond the wall like? Reckon you've made a good first impression.
Are we the only one she's ever met?
That you are. The rest of the world can't know we're here, so we'll have to be very careful who we're letting in and out. A few of us might make the occasional trip to shore for supplies, but for the most part, we'll make do with what we've got, including what the old Northerners left us.
Yes. You built on top of the old ruins, didn't you?
Well, they make for fine foundations. Their masons clearly knew what they were doing. That's one thing we don't have to worry about. Oh, it's everything else that's the problem. Medicines, metals for tool making, anything like that. We have to dress up as traveling merchants and make a trip to the outside and pray to every cloud in the heavens that nobody sees through us.
Which explains why you need Gil.
Aye. And now Ruka's back. My wife should be free to assist you with any potential purchases. So please, do make good use of our stores, because we fully intend to make good use of your coin.
I'll be sure to keep my purse strings loose.
Alright, there we go. There's our first little mini quest, just something to get things moving. We can now access the store. Excellent. And well, obviously it gives us even more of a feel for just how isolated this place is and the secrecy in which they have to live. Let's see what they got.
Thanks for bringing me daughter back. I don't grudge her looking for adventure, but she's got to pull her weight like the rest of us. Anyway, now we've got the inventory done, I can attend to my own tasks, like seeing to our visitors' needs. So, was the route you wanted? This is all we have.
Oh, yeah, okay. I guess because it is DLC stuff, well, this is the final, most advanced DLC, so yeah, we'll take that.
May it serve you well.
Take anything we can get to help us not die. So it's even better than this. So I don't think they have any special abilities. The Sons of Ouroboros is just better stats. So this one's fine. A vestige of the tribe's long years of wandering following the fall of Drake's Horn, in which the loss of members was commonplace. The ring represents a singular bond between the moats that transcends both physical and spiritual distance. Know that even should you walk abyss, our hands will guide you home.
Here you are.
Okay, don't need that. Definitely need that. I mean, I've used 2 so far. That's how, like, OP I am and how generous the game is to start. Like, that boss battle was, like, super easy.
Very well.
Okay. At least we've got a little bit of an equipment upgrade for our trouble, so that's good. But one of the main purposes was to try and fight a couple more things. To try and get used to it, but we didn't get to do that, so let's try another quest.
Sid? You are Sid, aren't you? The man the tributary told us about? I wonder if you could help me.
With what exactly?
Oh, nothing too troublesome. Do you know my husband, Pavat? He's the village smith, among other things. Anyway, his name day's not far off, and I wanted to make a gift for him. He's a craftsman, you see, and he's been fretting about running low on the flowers he uses for dye making, so I wondered if you might collect some for me and give them to him.
Would this gift not be better coming from you?
Perhaps, but it can't, for reasons I can't go into. Please, I know it sounds daft, but I'd be ever so grateful.
Well, alright.
Fine. Which flowers does your husband need?
The sweet little blue ones that grow around the fount. Elder's blessings, they're called. We use them to dye our fabrics so we always feel close to water like they are. You don't need to go to the trouble of picking them yourself, though. Just speak to the field hands and ask them to share their harvest with you. 2 basketfuls should be enough for my husband to be getting on with.
2 basketfuls it is.
Okay, there I was thinking we again have to go out exploring, but another quest that's not like that. So far, at least in that sense, it kind of seems to be a continuation of the main game. I wasn't expecting too much different, if I'm being honest. I think it's probably very much kind of code-developed, a lot of it, a lot of the ideas, a lot of what they wanted to do. I wouldn't be surprised.
Excuse me. I wonder, might you be able to spare a basket of Elder's blessings? Pavard's wife tasked me with collecting some for her husband, and suggested that I speak to you.
Ah. Werda wants you to bless her better half with the fruits of our labour, does she? Go on then. Give the old fool something to squirm about.
I'm sorry.
Ah, don't worry about it. An old fool Pavard may be, but if you come bearing gifts, he's not fool enough to turn you away.
I'm glad to hear it. Thank you.
Alright, let's keep going. There's only 2 of them anyway.
If we pick too many of the flowers, there won't be enough left to go to seed. And then next year, we won't have any.
Ah, welcome to Haven, friend.
Thank you. Forgive my presumptuousness, but the smith's wife has asked me to make her husband a present of some Elder's blessings. 2 basketfuls, to be precise.
Wow. I have 1, if that's any help.
It is. I'm much obliged. They really are beautiful.
Aren't they just? Though that's not the only reason they have a special place in our hearts. Legend has it that when our people fled from Ash, the tributary of the time took some seeds with them. And as they wandered high and low across the Twins, he'd plant them wherever they stopped for water. Every elder since has done the same. So when we finally put down roots here in Mysidia, the flowers did too.
Well, that's 2 basketfuls.
Okay. Yep. This is always nice. I mean, obviously for this one it's not really necessary, but...
Time to visit Pavard.
Yeah, it's literally right here. Okay, let's see what's going to happen here. There is a little element of secrecy going on here, like why can't she give them herself and stuff. We'll see if that's at least a little bit satisfying for this quest once we find out the deal.
What do you want?
Are all smiths the same?
Your wife asked me to bring you these flowers.
That woman. Come out. I know you're there.
Who? Me?
Would either of you care to explain what's going on?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to deceive you. It's just, my husband can be a bit standoffish at times, and I thought this might be a good way for the 2 of you to get acquainted. What with you being a swordsman like, and him being the only smith in the village. It'd be a shame if you couldn't turn to him for help.
The only reason he couldn't turn to me for help is because I had my hands full with all the orders you lot dumped on me. I'm pretty much done with them now, though. But, for the record, the tributary said that we were to lend you outsiders our aid, and that's exactly what I was planning to do. With or without my darling wife's meddling. Still, here we are. Acquainted. So, if there's out you need, just bring us the materials, all right?
All right.
All right, then. And tar for the flowers. I was running low.
You use them for dyeing, I hear.
Aye. Crush the petals and it makes a fine and lasting blue. We use it to stain the cloth for our tunics and pennons. Remind us where we come from, like.
As modes of water. Children of the sea.
That's right. The pattern, too, was left by our ancestors. The Ceaseless Rill, it's called. It symbolizes the river of our tribe, with the strength of Leviathan running through it. And no matter how that river has ebbed and flowed, changed its course, the flowers have always been with us, growing on our banks. I shall get back to work. If you need something crafting, let me know.
I will. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Wasn't it just?
And there we go. So the first two quests happen to be unlocking both the item store and the smith, which does make sense. What's this? Enhancing it, making it capable to block attacks from behind while restoring a small amount of HP re-engage. Nice. Okay, we've got this one too. So I think it's a good place to start. In terms of what you get as a result of the quest, I'm definitely happy with that. And well, again, they do their best to add in like a little bit of charm and a little bit of like history and context, even though like the content of the first two quests are not exactly fire. I think they do their job.
Reckon my steel's just as good as any.
Not as good as this one, apparently. So that, this one, it's notably not as good. Yeah, okay.
Till next time, then.
Yeah, we'll keep it like this. So, okay, for now at least, they're only giving you those two. So much for my little idea. Fine. So I guess we can just continue with the story. I swear there were more than two. I really thought there were more than two quests available, but I think doing them was the right choice, even if it didn't do anything for me in terms of the combat, which was the kind of the point. Oh well, we'll continue to have to learn on the job. Just keep doing the main quest and do our best.
To understand the spell which binds Walyas, you must first know who we are, and what drove my forebears to commit such an atrocity. This tapestry is our story, the one that brought us here. After generations of wandering, my people sought refuge in northeastern Storm, some 170 years ago. But in exchange for our safety, the Gregorian Church demanded we renounce our faith and branded us heretics when we could not.
To be exterminated, as a lesson to others.
And so was it chronicled in the imperial histories, for anything less would have made the Church seem weak. Yet a handful survived. The few who did fled north and west, and in doing so discovered two things that would forever shape our fates. The first was an old legend, revealing how to make your very own mother crystal.
I've heard that one before.
Yes, yet it gave them new hope, however false. Our ancestors convinced themselves that they could recreate the divine if they could only find a strong enough heart. A living being capable of channeling torrents of ether. And the heavens provided.
A dominant Walyas.
They'd stumbled across a nostrum in an ancient ruin, which they believed could provoke a sudden outpouring of a creature's ether. They meant to enrage his icon. Leviathan would have destroyed everything, had our people not made their second important discovery. A means to stop time itself.
Where did they find that? The Northerners had no such magics, or they would have used them.
When our ancestors first arrived, the land was uninhabited, save for an old witch who lived on the highest peak. Her body had been consumed by the curse, a cruel payment for her long years of service to the Northern Thanes. So desperate were they to prevent the fall of Drake's Eye, they'd forced her to devise a spell to stop time.
But Drake's Eye did fall.
It did. When she finally perfected the necessary magics, it was already too late. As punishment for her failure, the Thanes exiled her to this forsaken place to live out the few days she had left. Knowing her suffering, our ancestors cared for her as best they could, and in return, she gifted them her spell. That even though she should die, her legacy might live on. So armed with both the knowledge of the ancients and the secrets of time, our ancestors settled upon an ambitious plan. They would create a new Mother Crystal and enchant it that it might endure for all eternity. Thus would our people's wandering, our suffering, finally end, and prosperity visit us once more. And all it would require was the sacrifice of a single child. A small price to pay, or so they believed.
Another victim of man's blind reliance on the Mother Crystals. So we know the seal source. How do we break it and restore the flow of time?
Do you recall the dome of light on top of the cliffs to the west? Inside lie the ruins of an old temple. It was there that the witch built the Ver, a conduit of sorts that channels her remaining ether into the surge. But it's been a long time since anyone set foot in the place. And now, there are others who claim it as their own.
Then we shall go prepared for a fight. That said, it may be best if one of us stays behind.
You think the village could be in danger?
We saw the ether flow from Wallius in all directions, but only encountered a single familiar. There will be more. And should even one make its way here, I doubt the walls could hold it back for long.
Then I shall stay. The Phoenix will see your people safe, tributary.
You have my thanks.
No.
Very well. We should depart at once. I fear time may no longer be a luxury we can afford.
No. Why are they splitting the brothers up, man? Annoying.
The Ver is not easy to find. We must first head north and then west, deeper into the forest.
Cool. I mean, I do like that premise. That's pretty interesting. The witch who can stop time. That's pretty cool. And then these people gaining that power and the way that they've used it. So definitely looking forward to more. I am a bit bummed that they're leaving Joshua here. Kind of feels a bit like, why? Like, their brotherly kind of antics are some of my favorite interactions when it does happen. But obviously now there's even less chance because he's stuck here. I'm sure we'll reunite, obviously, but for now, we have to part ways.
I suspect two dominants can handle whatever it is that awaits you atop that peak. And if not, there's always Lady Shula's battle axe.
Yeah, that's not the point, though. Anyway, okay. So I think now that I've got a feel for what's going on, at least in terms of the environment and the story, I think I can probably wrap up for this first little sesh. Honestly, I might play for like half an hour or something before I get started, like load up, like just go to an area and start fighting some random encounters. I'm at the level cap anyway, so I can't level up any more than I have, so it doesn't really matter. And so at least I might get a little bit more comfortable again with what I'm doing. So hopefully in the next session, I can kind of play a little bit better. So maybe that's going to be something worth doing. But for now, I think I'll just save and wrap it up, just as a little reintroduction back into the game. And I'll take it from here next time. Okay, my friends, so I took 10 or 15 minutes, just kind of... I went back to Northreach on the map, just to hang out a little bit and just fight a few, like, maybe 5 or 10 random encounters, just to try and get a little bit more up to speed. And I'd say I've gone from, like, feeling 10% confident to 20%. And I think, for now at least, we're just going to keep going, because I don't want to spend, like, an hour or two just kind of practicing to come back. We got a DLC to complete, and I'm sure one way or another... despite just taking a long time to really get to grips with the gameplay again, I'm sure I'll be fine. It's generally always been a pretty forgiving game, and especially when your level's high and you have like the most recent equipment, generally you still do just fine. I was telling someone about it, and they were like, yeah, don't worry, just press like square, 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 triangles constantly, it's fine anyway. And well, for my run, that would be R1, 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 R2, and they're kind of partly right. But for me, as soon as I try to like juggle up the different icons and iconic abilities and all that stuff, then it obviously starts to get a little bit more like I press the wrong button and I like all that kind of stuff. So we're nearly there. So what I will do, we have a new set of side quests coming up, so I'm gonna make a start with those. Now, the last time I did this, the whole idea was to have it try and help me just get a little bit more used to the gameplay before going on and making my way towards Leviathan. And it ended up just being like a couple of little kind of fetch quests and learning a little bit more about the village and some of its inhabitants, so it didn't quite work. But surely some of these have got to involve a little bit of combat and hunting.
Hail, stranger. Are you a rider by any chance?
I am. What gave me away?
Oh, I can smell it on you. The scent of the stables.
You smell like shit, huh?
And not just any stables. Something tells me you've never been one to ride half-starved birds with chine gall and wet beak. If I had a guess, I'd say your bird eats only the finest greens and has her feathers groomed twice a day with a curl hairbrush.
Nothing but the best for my Ambrosia.
Ambrosia, eh? Pretty name. What's she like?
Well, she's tall and strong. And her feathers are as white as snow.
You're joking. You've got a white chocobo.
I have, yes. I suppose they are rather rare.
This I've got to see. Can you bring her here?
I would if I could, but I doubt Shula's skiff could hold her.
Me dad's got a boat, and he's ferried chocobos before. You could get him to bring her. It'd be perfect timing and all. He's preparing for a trip beyond the wall as we speak. I'm sure he'd help you if you asked.
He would. Well, I don't suppose it would hurt to have Ambrosia around. All right then. Where could I find your father?
He'll be in the storehouse on the other side of the brook. Tell him Manda sent you.
Okay, not what I was expecting. I think it was the ones with the plus signs that are a bit more important though, but I guess it does mean that if I complete this, then I can have the chocobo maybe to explore around these bits, so I guess maybe not a bad idea. Let's just do it. So maybe it's another one that has no, like no combat or anything like that. It's kind of how the main game was, and to be honest, like the first few quests were definitely just very, very simple. Go get this, bring that type things. So it seems to be following that for now.
You one of the outsiders, then?
I am. Shula invited me. Are you Manda's father?
I am. Got you running errands for her already, has she?
She's asked to see my chocobo, but I'd need your help and your boat to bring her here.
Or you could just say no. Honestly, that girl and her birds, she'll be growing feathers soon enough.
Well, truth be told, I didn't take the idea seriously at first. But thinking about it, it would make it easier to get around if I had Ambrosia here. Can you help?
Well, if you're sure that's what you want. The tributary says we're to treat you lot as we would each other. So, if you need me to ferry your bird over, then that's what I'll do. Still, they don't take the water easily. I'll need you to bring us a mimic goat or two to keep her calm on the journey over.
And where would I find one of those?
Oh, don't ask me. It's been years since I last brought a chocobo across the bay, and I'm told the world's changed a fair bit since then. Where do you usually get your stable supplies from?
Well, the man who made Ambrosia's tack lived in Martha's Rest, and if I remember correctly, he traded in chocobo feed too. So I suppose I'll go and ask him.
I'll be sailing over to Northreach soon to pick up some supplies. While I do that, you collect your bird and your gourd, and then meet me by the shore. Just don't take too long, all right?
Ah, yes, Martha's Rest. We have been there many a time, and the game has sent us back there once again. I feel like these side quests, these early ones at least, they're just like, the developers just love Ben Starr so much, and they love him as Clive so much, they just wrote some extra stuff just for him to talk some more. Like, let's just give him some extra side quests, so he can just randomly talk to people. Just need to hear his voice.